Hey friends, welcome back to my channel for another week of What's for Dinner. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week and I hope you're ready for this next week coming up. Hope it's a great one for everyone. Are your summers winding down? Have your kids gone back to school? All that kind of stuff. So we homeschool year round, so our schedule is a little bit different, but we are going into our last week off for our summer break. And then we will start third grade. I really enjoyed having a little bit of time off, not gonna lie, it's been really nice. We have been busy though, we've just got stuff going on, it feels like all the time. Doing things with homeschool groups and running errands and taking care of things that have been on my to-do list for like way too long. All that kind of stuff. But I still managed to squeeze in a couple of meals this week. They are super simple, I'm not gonna lie you guys. With everything going on, I had to keep it simple, but they were really, really good. I did make a pork roast this week that was an absolute winner. It was so delicious. Originally, I was just gonna do a regular old barbecue pork roast, but I changed my mind at the last minute and I am so glad I did because this is way more versatile. I could do many more things with it this way and it tasted phenomenal. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy all these meals. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let's take a look at what was for dinner. Happy Monday, friends. I am getting ready to cook dinner. Originally, I was gonna do the pork dishes. I think I have like barbecue pork sandwiches and barbecue pork pizza. Originally, I was gonna do that tonight, but I totally forgot to thaw the pork. So I decided, you know what? I'd already taken that turkey taco meat out to thaw. We're gonna make tacos, nachos, taco salad. It's kind of like a free-for-all, whatever anyone wants. My husband said he wants a taco salad. I'm feeling some nachos. My oldest wants tacos, so we're like all over the place, and I thought, well, we're gonna do it all. Pretty much the same ingredients all across the board, so why not? I've got my turkey meat. I'm going to cook that. The trick with that I found with ground turkey to make it the most like ground beef is you have to cook it an extra long amount of time, let all the water evaporate out of the pan, and the turkey will actually start to brown a little bit, and it's delicious that way. So I do have some taco shells. I have some soft tortillas in my fridge. I have tortilla chips for my nachos. I've got salsa. I always have salsa. I've got jalapenos. I've got refried beans, lettuce. I've got some green onions, and then in the fridge I have cheese and sour cream and taco sauce. So basically I'm just gonna get started chopping some of this stuff up and browning this turkey. All right, I've got my big skillet, heating it up, and I'm just going to put this in. This is pre-seasoned, it's taco seasoned ground turkey. I have never tried this, and in all honesty, I'm super picky about taco seasoning. Like when we go to, I don't know, like taco places like Taco Bell and all that, I think they use way too much seasoning. It kind of ruins the taco meat for me. Odds are I'm not gonna love this, but I will tell you guys what everyone else in my household thinks of it because they like regular taco season stuff. They will be a really good opinion. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this package of turkey open and get it in the skillet because I do have to let it cook for a while to get all the water and everything out. It takes a little bit of time. The first few times I cooked with ground turkey, I was like, I don't know about subbing this for ground beef. It works okay, but I was a little off put by how much extra liquid there was. And I tried something and it worked. So now I know we're gonna let this cook for probably 15, 20 minutes to get all that liquid out and let the meat start to kind of brown up, the crumbles brown up a little bit, get a little extra color. And that is absolutely divine. All right, I've got my handy dandy meat masher. This one came from Dollar Tree. I think they still carry them in the Betty Crocker line. It was about $1.25 now. It was $1 when I got it. But I will go ahead and link another one down below and on Amazon for you guys if you are interested. Maybe you don't live near a Dollar Tree. I know some people don't. So I'll link one so you guys can get one if you don't already have one. All right, like I said, this takes a little while to cook, so I'm going to just continue kind of crumbling this up as it cooks, and while that happens, I'm gonna work on the lettuce and the onions and get them all sliced and diced. All right, I shredded up all of my lettuce. It's right here. So here's my trick for shredding lettuce. I put a paper towel in the bottom, and I put another layer of paper towels in the middle. All that does is help soak up all the extra moisture from all of the lettuce, and it just keeps it from wilting and getting nasty. This will last anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how fresh the lettuce is when you slice it. It works beautifully. I've been doing this for years. You can do the same thing in a plastic, like Tupperware kind of container, as long as you line it and top it with paper towels. It'll last for quite a while. All right, it's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, there's pretty much no liquid left in the bottom of this skillet. I can smell the taco seasoning, so I know it's very well seasoned. If you do not have pre-seasoned taco meat, you could always just add regular taco seasoning, or you can make your own. I personally like a combination of chili powder, cumin, salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder. But whatever you want to use that works for your family is perfectly fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn the burner off, and I'm going to finish slicing up my onions, and then we'll be ready to assemble. Okay, y'all, I just had to take a minute. I tasted of this turkey taco meat, and like I said before, I am no huge fan of taco seasoning. That is so good. I still think there's a little too much seasoning for my personal taste, but oh my gosh, that tastes better to me than like the taco meat at Taco Bell and stuff. It is so delicious. If you have not tried this, give it a try now. That is really, really good. I am impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. All right, guys, so for me, I'm gonna make some nachos. That's what I really want. I love nachos. I did pull out some refried beans. You can use refried beans. You could use like a can of black beans if you want. That's what's great about nachos. They're so completely versatile. You can put whatever you want on them. You can mix some chorizo in with this ground turkey and have some really amazing nachos or tacos or whatever. But for me, here's a takeaway from tonight's meal. I think we all know how to cook taco meat and stuff like that. Don't sleep on the nachos. First off, they're delicious. But it's a quick and easy meal, and you can serve it 3 different ways in one night. I'm having nachos. My oldest has requested the tacos, and my husband said he wants taco salad. So one meal, it took me about 15 minutes to prep everything, and everybody's getting what they want out of it. That's how easy dinner can be. There it is. It's my dinner. I made nachos, which is just like a party taco salad, really, because it's just laid out like that. Instead of tomatoes, I am using salsa. I don't like both types of tomatoes. I just really like a lot of salsa. I do have some sour cream. I decided against the jalapenos today just because I did, but I do have lettuce and green onion on top of my nachos, which are so easy to make because I just did them in the microwave. It took like a minute to melt the cheese. So, yum, here is dinner. Hello friends, it is day 2 and I'm gonna make some breakfast for dinner. I was originally going to make the pork roast in the slow cooker, but I decided I wasn't feeling that today, so we're gonna make breakfast. But I'm not gonna do just plain old breakfast. Gonna do some bacon, I'm gonna cook some eggs later, and I'm gonna make cinnamon swirl pancakes. Never made these before, but I swear I've seen them somewhere. So maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. I couldn't find a recipe. I'm going to wing it, and I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to make some pancakes and just put a cinnamon sugar swirl in the middle of them. You know how people drop like chocolate chips on them or blueberries, you know, while one side's cooking? We're going to do the same thing with some cinnamon and sugar, like a cinnamon roll pancake. So let's go ahead and make some pancakes. All right, in case you don't know, I am one of those bake your bacon people. I've had this in my freezer. Some Chop House bacon. It's seasoned, it's thick cut. It's got black pepper, red pepper, garlic, and onion. Sounds delicious. I'm going to put it out on this cookie sheet. I try not to let the pieces touch if I can help it, but sometimes, you know, there's just not enough room. Then I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. Typically, I don't preheat it, but I am in a little bit of a rush today because I'm trying to get all this together because we got to go out here in a little bit, and I need as much of this done and together so I can just kind of heat things up when we get home later, because everybody's going to be starving. Anyway, I'm just going to lay this bacon out just like this. All right, minimal touching. It'll do. It'll fit on the sheet pan. I'm going to bake this probably about 12 minutes, flip it over, and then till it's done. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 15. This is like really thick, so I'm thinking it'll take a little bit longer, but we'll get this in and make some pancakes. All right, let's make some pancakes. I am taking a shortcut and just using some pancake mix. I've got Bisquick. You guys can make them from scratch if you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you have some pancake batter. I do like to make my batter before I do the other stuff, because if you let it sit, some of those like lumpy clumpy bits of the powder mix that don't always like break apart will kind of break up on their own. So I like to give it a few minutes to just kind of sit and do its thing. But first I'm going to start with 1 cup of milk. I am using regular milk because I'm running low on almond milk. And then I'm gonna crack in 2 eggs. Right. Then I'm gonna add in my mix. Gonna get this all incorporated. Okay, trying to make some pancakes. Normally, I would melt like a little bit of butter in the bottom of this skillet, but I'm gonna be putting all that butter on top of the pancakes, so I decided I'm just gonna use some of this butter flavored spray. Maybe this is like a little bit less fat, I don't know. They're gonna be delicious though. Anyway, once that heats up, I'm going to start adding my pancakes. All right, I do like to use a cup measure, just kind of scoop mine in. It keeps them a little more uniform. Normally I would use my 1/4 cup measure, but I don't know where that guy is. Like, I'm looking everywhere and I see a 1/3 and I see an 1/8 and I see a whole cup, but I can't find my 1/4 cup. That kind of bothers me. I wish I could find it. I do also have ice cream scoop, cookie scoop things. These guys, wonder if that would work. I don't know. I feel like it's not quite enough batter. We'll just go with a 1/3 of a cup. All right, here we go. Oh, and I did turn the bacon over just a second ago. So I didn't show you guys, but I did that right after I made the cinnamon sugar. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I was gonna pour, but I think I'm just gonna spoon some of this as neatly as I can on top of each pancake. If you have a squeeze bottle, this is probably even better because you could squeeze it on in a nice swirl pattern. All right, and we're gonna let these cook and flip them over just like any other pancake. And they should be yummy and delicious. Woo, look at that. I'm gonna try to get some of that up off the pan. Probably gonna be one of those deals where you wanna wipe the pan out after every round because you don't want this stuff burning on there. But they smell so good. I think these are gonna be fantastic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cook the rest of the batch, and I will show you what it looks like when it's all plated up with some eggs and some bacon, my pancakes. I think that's all I'm putting out. We'll see. But I will show you what it looks like when I plate up dinner. All right, there's dinner. I already tasted the pancakes. They taste a lot like a cinnamon roll. I'm really, really pleased. They are delicious. I cannot wait to eat them. And then to go with it, I just did the bacon I talked about earlier, some scrambled eggs, and I made some hash browns because hash browns are yummy. That's my son's plate right there, and that is dinner. All right, friends. I lost some video footage somewhere. I don't know where it went. This never happened to me before, but I just want to let you guys know the cinnamon sugar mixture, when I made it, I filmed it and I can't find that footage. It was half a stick of butter, 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And it made the most perfect cinnamon sugar drizzle ever. I will list it down below in the description box. All right, happy Wednesday morning. We are gonna make a pork roast today, and I'm gonna use it for a couple of different things. I'm gonna make some sandwiches, and I'm gonna make some barbecue pulled pork pizza probably, or maybe not even barbecue, just pulled pork pizza. We'll see. But I do have a pork loin here. I bought like a really big one and cut it up into sections. I've gotten a couple of pork roasts out of it, and I've gotten a bunch of pork chops. It was a really good deal. I think I'll do that again. We don't eat pork all the time, but it was nice to have on hand, and it was just so economical. But I'm gonna get started seasoning the outside, and then I'm gonna put it in my slow cooker and let it cook for like 6 to 8 hours, probably. And then when it's ready, I'll just shred it up and then make one dish or the other tonight. This should be definitely enough for, I think, 2 nights, because the pulled pork pizza won't take that much. But today I'm going to season with, I wanted oregano, but I've got all this Italian seasoning, so I'm just going to use that. But if you've got oregano, that's probably better. I'm going to do some onion powder, smoked paprika, because you guys know I love that stuff. In place of salt, I'm going to use this all-purpose seasoning, some garlic powder, some brown sugar, and I was gonna use some pepper, but I guess I didn't pull it out. So I'm gonna, you guys are blocking my cabinet. I'm gonna move you guys over for a second and grab the pepper, and then we'll get started seasoning all the outside of this, pop him in my slow cooker, and let him go nice and slow all day long. All right, this guy is covered in seasoning. I want to make sure when he goes in, the fat side is on the top, because that'll help to make it even more moist and delicious and wonderful. Help keep it from drying out. All right, this has been cooking all day. Sorry, it's a little steamy. As you can see, it's nice and hot. So whenever I do meat like this and I'm gonna shred, I like to cook it and then shred it and let it stay just in the juice it's created for at least an hour if I can. You know, sometimes you don't have time, that's life. Today I do, so I'm gonna make sure and shred this now, and that way it soaks up all this amazing flavor between just the juices that come from the meat plus the seasoning that we put in here. If you don't have enough juices, go ahead and add in like a little bit of chicken broth or beef broth or something like that. You could even add in apple juice or something, totally up to you. I think mine's gonna be okay. So I'm going to just let this kind of soak up the juices, and just my slow cooker's on warm now. It's not gonna cook anymore. So we'll just let it sit here for a little while until we're ready to make dinner. All right, dinner is served. I mixed a little mayonnaise and horseradish to put on the bun, and then I put some Swiss cheese on there, and then I just put a bunch of that pulled pork. Originally I was thinking about mixing some barbecue sauce in there, but you know what, guys? It tastes amazing. It does not need that. I did make some of those like the flat tater tots, whatever they're called, the tater rounds or something. And then I always make a horseradish ketchup mix. That's what my oldest son Xander and I like to eat, so I made that. But this is dinner tonight, and it is so good. All right, so we're gonna make pizza with a leftover pulled pork that I made in the slow cooker. So I'm gonna start off by caramelizing some onions. So what I'm gonna do first is I put a little bit of olive oil in there, and now I'm gonna put a couple of pads of butter. Then I'm gonna thinly slice some onion, and we're just gonna cook it low and slow. This will probably take about 20 or 30 minutes because I'm slicing them pretty thin. It won't take the whole hour and stuff that you usually hear about. But these are going to bring such fantastic flavor to this pizza. I made something similar before, and my husband was so impressed, and it was the onions that did it, the caramelized onions. They just really elevate the entire flavor of the pizza. So I'm going to do that again with this pizza. Okay, the butter's starting to melt. We're gonna add in our onions. Like I said, I just sliced them nice and thin, and they'll kind of break apart some more as I cook them. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of salt in here because that just kind of helps the onions cook down a little bit. And we're gonna let this go, like I said, probably about 20 minutes. It's gonna take a while. It's not a quick process, but we really want to develop that deep, rich color, and with it comes this amazing flavor where onions go from being just simply savory to this caramelized sweetness that brings so much more depth to the dish. All right, friends, we just got home from martial arts, so I'm going to assemble this pizza. Originally, I was gonna make one barbecue pork pizza and one regular pizza. That's why I was really excited to get that pizza sauce for free, but my little guys got a new stripe of martial arts. So as a treat, I took them to McDonald's instead of coming home and making any kind of pizza. So this is gonna be pizza for myself and my husband and my oldest. I'm only gonna eat one small slice and I'll leave most of it for them. I'm not all that hungry. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is start by putting a little bit of barbecue sauce down on the crust. Typically I make my crust, but I forgot to do that before I left today, and it's grocery day, so I've been gone all day doing martial arts, and I just really didn't have the time to make one. So I just bought one while I was at the store, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta do stuff like that. So I'm gonna take just some bottled barbecue sauce and pour it on. I don't wanna go like absolutely crazy with it. And now that I'm standing here, I'm actually debating on making 2 of these because I have enough pulled pork, but I don't know. I think we'll be fine with just one. Just gonna use a spatula that I cooked the onions with. And just make sure that I get sauce everywhere. I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can, but leave a little bit of room there to be able to grab a slice of pizza, not get your hands all dirty. Okay, next I'm gonna grab these onions that I showed you guys that I cooked earlier. And I'm just gonna try to evenly layer them around the bottom so that there's a little bit in every bite, which is kind of hard to do because they did cool off, but I'll make it work. These are so delicious, and they really bring something phenomenal to pizza. I promise, if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. I know a lot of people, and I mean I do it too, just stick raw onions on a pizza, but after I tried this one day, I assure you next time I make a veggie pizza, it's going to have caramelized onions instead of raw onions because these are incredible. All right, now it's time for the pulled pork. All right, I have plenty of pulled pork left. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the last of it. I'm trying to decide, we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and just try to evenly spread some or place some on the crust. It's cold, so I'm trying to just kind of break it up a little bit so it's not too clumped up. Now, if you're making a pepperoni pizza, you really want to make sure you put the pepperoni on top so it gets all crispy. If you're putting raw vegetables on there, they need to go on top so they cook better. But in this particular case, I don't want this pork to dry out and get yucky. So I'm actually going to put it underneath the cheese just so it has a little bit of protection from all that heat. I do have my oven cranked up to 500 degrees, and this won't take long at all to cook, especially because the crust is already cooked. So probably just like 6 minutes or so. Okay, before we left, I meant to shred some mozzarella cheese, but time got away from me and I did not. So in the interest of saving time, it took me about a minute to slice up a whole block of mozzarella. I am just going to place these strips on there and let them melt. I've done this before. It's just what I do when I don't have a ton of time, and sometimes that happens, you know. We all get busy. But if you can, don't be like me. Shred your cheese. It's just better all around, but sometimes you just gotta work with what you got, and this is what I have time for. Everyone's starving. We need some dinner. All right, that's all I'm putting on there. You can always add whatever you want to it. If you want to do some vegetables on there or even some pickles. Pickles are phenomenal with barbecue. Maybe some jalapenos, I don't know. But for us, this is it. Also, you could use cheddar cheese if you want to, or horseradish cheese, totally up to you. For us, we are using this because my oldest, this is the only kind of cheese he'll eat. So in the oven, probably like 6 minutes, maybe a little longer, and we'll have dinner. All right, guys, that does it for this What's for Dinner video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Like I said, the meals were simple, but they were really, really good. And that taco flavored ground turkey, that was delicious. I don't even like taco flavored stuff most of the time, but it was really, really good. My whole family enjoyed it. There were no like real leftovers because everything was eaten. It was so good and way cheaper than ground beef. So if you guys are looking for a way to kind of switch up your Taco Tuesday, have some nachos instead or whatever, make sure you try that taco season ground turkey because it was fabulous. All right, that'll do it for this week. I hope you guys all have a phenomenal week ahead, and I will see you back here on Tuesday. I almost forgot what day of the week I put it out. On Tuesday for my grocery haul. Bye, everyone.